Come on, spread the wings and run.
Hey guys, it's Kyle and Shannon. Welcome back to K&S Get Out. What a week.
What an exhausting week.
What an exhausting week. Guys, I got to start out by saying if you saw our last video, if you commented, or if you were in the premiere with us, thank you so much for your concern, your positivity.
Your encouragement.
I was going to say, mostly the encouragement to just, you got to do what you got to do.
And let us make our own decisions.
Yeah. So let's talk about that today and go see the animals and see how things are going now that we've made a slight change.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Little one. You can hear Mama talking.
Yeah. So if you don't know, you didn't see our last video, but you're familiar with the channel, you remember Mario, our billy goat, our buck.
One of the first goats that we got.
Yeah. Him and Luigi are brothers. They were the first two goats we got, and we left him intact. And we now have two of his babies, and potentially more on the way with Blue in January. More to come on that in the future. I don't know. However, we had to make a tough decision, and we ultimately decided the auction was coming up. It was the quickest, fastest way to keep our pen from getting destroyed and our other animals getting hurt. So Mario left the farm. And not like the story where, your parents told you when you were little that somebody had to leave the farm and really they had to be put down. He's alive. he went
really
to the
did
auction.
go to another farm.
Yeah, he really went to another farm, and I couldn't tell you which one. I couldn't watch the auction. Decided it was what was best for us. We just kind of said our goodbyes, which I'll tell you a funny story about a city kid taking his male goat to a much more farm-oriented auction house. It was pretty comical. Well, and emotional, but you catch my drift. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Thanks for keeping everybody safe last night. Yes, sir. Goodness gracious. You smell so good. Tell you what, though. The smell now that Mr. Mario's not here.
It is so different.
Completely different.
So different.
What do you think, Mr. Spruce? I'm still spoiled. Get off me, Herc. Get off me. Hey, bub. Yeah. My big guy. Okay. Look here now. Look here. We're getting it. Mr. Herc, I got to put you on your leash for a little bit because you're just a little rambunctious this morning. That's a nice thing about our LGD versus Mario. I can put him on a leash, put him on the T-post whenever he's getting a little hyper and decides that he needs to use this guy's neck as a chew toy. He's not hurting him, just playing. How are you guys? Ouija, we just went over this. Big guy. Come here. You're so silly. No need to be like that. I know it. Hi, Larry. Goodness. Somebody been laying in the hay feeder. Mom! You're so silly. Did you make this mess up here, dude? I saw you on the camera last night. This is where you were sleeping. Spruce is cute after he's eaten. What? Did you think, is she not going to get some? Huh? Or is she going to make you starve? No. So what we've done since Mario is not in the picture anymore, we're feeding everybody in here, including Spruce, just because it's a little bit easier that way so that we don't have to try to get him back in here. So Spruce is learning to speed up his eating a little bit because the guy took his sweet time and now he's actually got to compete for food just a little bit more, but it's coming along nicely.
You're not coming out, Spruce. You're not coming out.
Stay in here, big guy.
Okay. This is the Blues crew. This is Luigi and Sprucers.
Okay, well, whoever takes Luigi and Sprucer, we still kind of have to stand between them for a little bit.
Okay, I'll stand in between.
You got them?
Yep.
Blues Brothers. Mama Blue, come here, baby. Come here. I got your food. Who pooped in the feeder? Why do you poop in your feeder? We're getting a little bit of minerals today. Getting our regular goat feed and then a little bit of our calf creep. That's a lower protein content. But we sneak those minerals in there, which they like these. I think these are flavored, some kind of apple something or other. And look, the gate's open and they're eating. All of that was not possible while Mario was here. We're not harping on that, guys. It's just we kind of want to paint the picture. And I know we got a lot of emails, we got a lot of comments about being concerned, and it was rough. It was very rough. But, you know, what we're learning, or what I'm dealing with, is if I don't make assumptions as to, is Mario hungry? Are they feeding him? Is he getting as much as we gave him? Are they playing with him? Are they talking to him? You know, you can get your brain going, and you can make yourself sad unnecessarily, all by your own internal thoughts. And I'm talking to myself here. So what Shannon and I have done as best we can, of course, we have all the reasons in the world we needed to move him on. But now we just kind of look for some reasons to feel good about it. So literally the feeding, the night we got back, the night I got back after taking him up there, our very first feeding, I got out of the truck, you couldn't hear anything. There were no goats making noises. The birds were even quiet. It was incredible. And that's very uncommon with Mario here. So it was kind of a sign. I mean, literally the first feeding I got back. Now, it was one of two things. Either it was different because Mario wasn't here, or they all got wise and realized if they act up, they're next. I don't care the reason. I think it's an excellent change in the dynamic around here, and quite incredible, to be honest. And you got a lot less work to do, don't you? You're being good. You're being good, putting your sad face on. If I let you off your leash, will you still be good? No. Yeah, yes. Yeah, sure. We're gonna let them finish eating first so you don't run Miss Blue down into Goatville, okay? Let's go, boy. How's it coming along in here?
Pretty good. Luigi has only started to come towards Spruce's food one time, and I just kind of told him no, and he went back to his own food. So Spruce is learning he has to eat a little bit quicker than he used to. He's
not done that. And of course, you know, you pull Mario out of the equation, and then Luigi's like, hey, I'm the oldest goat here.
Yeah.
I got the most rights. I'm the boss man. But Mr. Spruce, I don't know if you can tell with Shannon in the foreground, he's not too far behind Luigi size-wise. Yeah, he's got to thicken up quite a bit, but he's getting a lot taller.
He is big, you guys.
Yeah. Which, Ouija's very big. He's a big goat. He's thick. He eats well.
Spruce and Luigi are going to be buddies because they go around and they clean up everybody else's feeders whenever they're done eating.
Yeah, no crumbs left behind in this crew.
No.
Hi, Mama. How are you, baby? And that is Lil Mario right there. That is one of two spawn of Mario. So his soul and his personality lives on in Little Mario, and decidedly so, this is Koopa. Yep, sticking with the Mario theme, especially now that Mario's not here. And, you know, Toad just didn't work. So we opted out of that. Talked to a lot of the folks in our premiere on that video where we talked about his name. And Koopa was kind of the one that stuck with us. And so we've been practicing it the last couple days, you know, call him Koopa a lot. But yeah, we're gonna go with Koopa and Lil Mario. Hi, Koopa. How you doing, Bubba? Yeah, that's a boy.
Blues Crew, did you finish your food?
So that evening, the next day, we've had everybody out to graze. In fact, the only troublemaker was that big guy who just can't resist the temptation to check out the neighbor's property from time to time. Oh, you feel sorry for me, Mom.
Well, I don't feel sorry for you whenever you run to the neighbors.
But Mom, it's embarrassing.
Well,
I just get excited and I want to go protect the world. Golly.
He's such a lover. He's so sweet.
He feels bad about what he did last night.
He should feel bad.
he got carried a little ways back into the pen, and he was not told, like he is every time I leave the pen, that's a good boy. I couldn't tell him that last night. It was frustrating. It happens. Mom, don't let him tell the story. It's
too late. He already told the story.
No, it's not true.
It is true.
He's making stuff up. No, I didn't.
And I had to get the
No, you didn't.
To get him to come back.
I love
and then
you.
We had to go all the way up and see the birds.
I keep everybody safe.
You do. You keep everybody safe.
Including the neighbor.
Thank you. You are something else, dude.
Silly boy. Did you finish everything, bub? Yeah, I did. That was a good appetizer. Where's my meal? And then, of course, I get desserts. It's that time of year. Come out here. Got some leaves in the water. So when I took Mario, we had to I had to basically just hold his horn and take him all the way up the hill, and he was doing a good job. Shannon went and grabbed treats, and believe it or not, she held her hand out with treats with the man. He had all the urine and all the stuff in his beard, and she let him eat right out of her palm. That's how out of sorts we were through this process. I get him in the critter getter, and he starts, I didn't think there was enough room in there for him to get that much power. Starts beating it to pieces. I mean, it's coming apart, and I'm reaching in, grabbing his horns, trying to talk to him, but he kind of figured out what was going on, and it was rough. Shannon cried the whole way up to the critter getter. She couldn't stop. It was just her. It wasn't me, just her. Sort of kidding. But long story short, we got him in there. I had to push it up against the rails, strap it down from every angle. And once I started moving, he calmed down, and he couldn't get his momentum, and he had to kind of sit down or lay down a little bit. The funny thing is, I mean, I'm doing everything I can to make it there. It does all the details. It is what it is. We're learning. We're city people becoming farmers, or not so city people. I think that's what we've graduated to, is not so city people. And of course I get there, and the gentleman that owns the place is still there. He's opening up the gate for me. I pull in, he opens up the chute for me, and I'm just trying to keep it together. I'm like, oh, I've got to let my Mario go, man. Look at all these goats in here, Mario. You're going to have a good life, And Mario's talking back to the other goats. I mean, I'm feeling slightly better about it on the inside. I hop out, and the farmer, Tim, we're going to call him Tim because that's his name. He's looking down. I mean, he hadn't made eye contact with me. We're just a couple words. He's got a lot going on. And I get Mario out, and Tim says, name? And I, sad face, I said, mine or his? And Tim just looked up from his notepad. Seriously? I was like, Kyle, K-Y-L-E. And it really just set the tone, like, dude, it's a small farm. You have to do it. You can't have a buck. And it just kind of hit me. So it was a positive experience with a little bit of comedy mixed in. And overall, Shannon and I are handling it. How are we handling it?
I feel like we're handling it pretty well. It's so much more peaceful. Everybody's getting along. We don't have to worry about who we put around who. I feel like it's overall better.
And deep down, what we're assuming is a positive move for Mario, where all them does out there, he gets to just have him a lot of girlfriends. I can imagine there's a big 50-gallon drum with feed in it he can go up to anytime. He's got hay for days, grazing, and just all them does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that right there.
So we're this is it. Today, the only thing that we're going to talk about from here on out with Mario is his offspring. Hi, Mama. We are just learning our ninja moves, aren't we? These guys, they are a little bit young still to have them around the other goats. We've done it a couple times, and Mama is very, very protective. And she's polite about it, but sternly. Is sternly a word? It's totally a word.
Yeah.
And so she talks to the other goats. She squares up with them a little bit, reminds them whose babies these are and who will protect them at all costs.
She even butted heads with Spruce a little bit yesterday. It was pretty funny to see Spruce kind of get put in his place.
Yeah, well, and he wasn't backing down, but she does not back down when we're talking her babies.
She's super protective.
That's you. Hello, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
So because Mama is so protective, these guys are taking their time at warming up to us, because she, anytime they're close to us, does this. She wants to be in the middle. She says, hey, don't worry about them. You just love me and I'll take care of the babies. But the babies are getting more and more accustomed to us and starting to come up to us. Mama said, hey, don't stop touching me.
I know, she's like, could you just touch me? She's like Herc, actually.
Yeah.
With Herc, you go to pet any of the goats and he's like, no, pet me, pay attention to me. She's the same way with her babies.
Yep.
You start to go after her babies and she's like, oh, I want the attention. Give it to me.
No, and that's a very good strategy. That's how at Walker Farm, that's how Xena was. Herc's aunt, sister, cousin, sister, from a different litter.
Yes.
But yeah, she was the same way. And Cassie, I asked her, I was like, hey, can I pet your goats? She goes, you can try. And every time you tried, Xena was like in your lap, loving on you, and said, nah, you give me attention, I'll take care of the goats. And I think they just come by it naturally. Hi, baby. Who do we have here?
I have Koopa.
Koopa.
Little Coop.
I eat your hair. That okay? That's
no.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not okay. But
I just did it.
These
These
I can
ears.
cuddle with you.
These are so much thicker than Spruce's little floppies. And of course, Larry, look, you can't even hold him still. He's going forward and back. You want to take off flying, buddy.
Their ears are so funny.
It's incredible the difference between Larry and Harry and Spruce and these two.
You're good. You're good. He's good.
They gotta call each other on their goat cell phones.
Let me see if I can get little Mario. She got her mouth full.
She says, I still want to talk. Did someone ring? Goodness, Mom, what's the matter?
Right here.
Hi, buddy. Come on, buddy. Jump up here. You can do it. There it is.
Good job.
Hi, buddy.
He'll crawl into your lap.
I'll let him. There's a boy.
I know, when he crawls into your lap, it's just the sweetest thing.
How you doing, Bubba? He says, I touch you, you don't touch me. This makes me happy.
I know, it makes me so happy too.
This is when it starts to become worth all the effort, work, and concern. When they eat your shirt. And yes, these little guys, give them enough time, they'll chew some little holes in your thinner shirts.
They're at that age where they're just so sweet.
Yeah, doesn't last long.
No.
Doesn't last long, does it, buddy?
They turn into little spruces before too long.
These are gonna turn into little Marios, but we're not gonna leave the parts on there for them to be just like Mario. And talking with Stan, our neighbor whose herd had Mama in it at one point in time, you know, we kind of hear the differences between the life she was living versus now this luxurious resort with a little bungalow and her boys. And so she's living it up, and by nature she takes care of the guys like she has to, but she's happy. The boys are happy, she's happy, and we are very, very pleased.
This crew right here, they are so much more calm than they were when Mario was here. They didn't ever get to really just lay down and relax and cuddle together because he was always in the middle of it. He was always trying to get on top of Blue. So you can tell they are much, much happier. Look, Harry is laying on top of Larry. Oh my goodness.
She still side-eyes Hercules, but I will say he's not chasing her quite as much. And because Mario's not there to intercept and also chase her and then hack off Herc, it's just that much more peaceful, even when he does decide to chase her down into Goatville.
Yeah.
Well, and
I think she's actually sleeping more than she did.
I was just getting ready to say that. I mean, we check on them all night long, and when they go to sleep now, they're all close to one another. She's not concerned that, you know, Mario may try something or Herc. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Hey, I'm down here.
Her and Luigi have actually been cuddling too. It's been super cute.
Yeah. So I think she's getting some much, much needed rest, especially after raising these two and, you can tell she was very successful because they love her. Now they are a part of the weaning process is breaking that dependency between the goatlets and their mama, and they will go out when we open up the doors and let them go graze. Those two will go flying, and Blue will take a little bit to make sure that Hercules goes on out, and they don't turn around and cry like they used to. They go ahead with Spruce and Luigi and everybody else and start grazing. Then she joins, and sometimes she'll even come back to the pen, and the boys will stay up there as long as the rest of the crew is up there. So that separation is building, and she is a master wiener. You gotta quit. That's not even. You can't say that. Blue, you're a great mama. Let's just put it that way, honey.
You are a good mama.
And look at you letting us love on you.
This hasn't been happening for quite some time. She is comfortable with both her boys leaning up against her. This is sweet. This is really sweet.
When Mario was here, I have to admit, I didn't. It wasn't like a threat. I just let her know, like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We're getting rid of Mario to change the dynamic, and we need you to let Hercules do his job. So we're gonna give that some time, see how things progress without Mario here, and she ain't going anywhere.
Oh, you're so sweet. So these two little guys are going Monday to the vet to be banded. We couldn't do it ourselves, and we just decided for the low cost that it is, we'll just go ahead and take them.
Yeah. Well, and I got Larry his vaccination, and you always want to keep an eye on him after you do that, and he has seemed to respond very well to it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't even do it with Harry, and I kind of want to hear developmentally, you know, Harry's not as thick, he's not quite as just big boned, so we just need to make sure that he's ready for the band. I'm 99.9999% sure Larry is definitely ready.
So Kyle was making fun of me because whenever I called the vet,
I wasn't making fun. I just was pointing something out that you didn't notice.
So I called and I said, hey, I've got a couple little goatlets that are needing to be banded and get their vaccinations, blah, blah, blah. And Kyle's in the background going, they're kids. They're kids.
You're talking to the vet. They don't know what a goatlet is.
I just rolled with it. It was pretty funny.
She really did. And she wasn't smiling. I mean, it was stressful. That was right after I tried to band him and I had to back out and change anyway. And so I was like, babe, just call the vet. We just got to call the vet. She calls up and didn't even miss a beat. Just says, you know, hey, we've got a couple goatlets. And then you start telling them who you are. And they're like, oh, yeah, that mini goat farm. I'm like, yeah, that's us. So it's just, we're at a whole new piece. And you know, the incredible thing is, not only is the piece amazing down here, the dynamics, everything, it's wonderful. Even with me? Pet me, for crying out loud. Goodness gracious, what I gotta do? Stab you with my horns? Do I gotta go break a post down or something? Tear up your gate? How do I get some stinking love around this place? Man alive. Too many goats here. Get rid of all of them. So much attention. We're just hungry for attention. Yeah. So we just get to focus on the things that we need to and not have the fight on our hands nonstop with Mario and the threat of our structures being torn down. This is not justification, guys. This is our counseling. This is our therapy for ourselves. And I know we brought a lot of emotion to that last video and a lot of you felt it with us, and we thank you. But we want to give you that sense of peace that everything's progressing the way that we intended by removing Mario from the equation. And it is. And Shannon and I are having a positive outlook about it. We don't cry because we're tough farm country folk. Now
I haven't cried since the day he left.
But man, it was healthy. You know, it ties back to when you lose an animal. At least in this case, we got to move him to a better situation. Yeah, so life will move on, and like we said, we got the soul of Mario still, and potentially a couple more on the way with Blue. The goat will live on. So
one of the really nice things is because we've been so at peace since he's been gone, and we haven't had to just watch all the animals, the goats, everybody nonstop, we've actually been able to get a few things done. One of them is we finally got the shelter over here in the new nursery closed in. Now they can choose to go to whatever shelter it is that they want and hang out, take a nap, sleep, whatever. At least it's done and we don't have to worry about it. And then we also got a few other things.
They're still having to figure out, though, that they can't run in and then go out one of the sides.
Oh, yeah.
So when they're playing chase with one another, they would go in. Sometimes Blue will jump up through the top part. I mean, yeah, she still does. But it's a little comical. It takes them a little bit to get their spatial awareness and realize, hey, it's not just a pass-through. So this is now more ready for fall and winter because we were fine with leaving it open when it was 105 degrees out.
Yeah.
But now this will help. We'll keep it warm and we can add some more stuff up top to block more wind and cold. But they're using it. They like it.
Spruce takes naps in there.
Yeah, your indication is always, has this been included in the poop factory? And if you go in there and look, yep, there's some poo inside. So they are hanging out in it. So Mama actually asked to come out of her pen. The littles are asleep in the shelter and she was making noise at the gate, so I've let her out. She came down here to Goatville. I think she just kind of wants some adult interaction for a minute. And she's comfortable because I closed the pen behind me, so Spruce, Herc, nobody could go in. She turned back to make sure that was the case. Yeah.
Mommy, you can fit between those two trees again.
She said I used to get high centered right there.
It's okay, Herc. They're just playing.
All right. Well, it's so much more peaceful.
It really
But
is.
you know what kind of still breaks that?
What?
Let's go up and get the birds out.
Oh, the bird herd.
The flight of the guinea fowl. It's always fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. And the volume goes up a bit. And I did some stuff for you up there.
I am super appreciative for that.
Yeah. Let's go take a look. Part of the things that we've been doing to kind of keep our mind off of the Mario situation and just go ahead and move on, it's getting back to work. And I love my tractor, my new tractor. Whew, love that thing. I'm still learning the loader. That thing's huge compared to the Kubota. So yesterday I got to do a little bit of precision work trying to hit the trench with the screenings. Yeah, I might have missed a little bit, but we're getting one step
I think you did
closer.
pretty good.
Thank you. We're getting one step closer. My hope is now we can get back on track. I can get the rest of the screenings in. We'll have plenty to put back in on top, and that's just going to protect that cable from too much rock pressure in one place. So we'll go get the cable at the beginning of next week. Hopefully I can get you some power in there. Quit making false promises that get interrupted by goats. Speaking of in there, you got a little work done as well.
I did. I started putting up the insulation that JR gave us, which this is kind of like a vapor barrier. So we're still going to have fiberglass insulation on top of this, but I at least got started.
I love it.
I feel like I got some pretty good progress made.
Yeah, this stuff is deceitfully effective. It's not real thick, but whatever the technology is in it, or just having the silver side out for the reflection of the heat away from the building, I can tell a difference. I mean, it is nice and cool in here. Mind you, it was very cool last night, which was awesome, but
it's kind of holding that cold air now.
it is. And I think if you'll just leave me these 3 sections right here so that I can get the power in here and everything and not mess with your insulation, you can go ahead and finish this out whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then wire, and then fiberglass insulation, and then wallboard, and then paint, and then flooring. No big deal.
Woo! I ain't getting paid enough for that job. So while you were doing that, I needed to get some time in on the tractors. I just haven't been able to play with it, work with it as much as I would like to. And that tree that was bent over because the big tree, the dead tree, fell. Got it down yesterday, cut it up into rounds, cut off the big limbs from the dead trees, carried all the treats down to the goats. Like, it's just incredible the freedom that we have now.
Good job, baby. It looks so good.
It's coming along, and I feel like we now get to focus on that stuff. It's surreal, the difference it makes when you find that.
You're not babysitting all the time?
Yeah, you get everything just kind of calm, get a nice baseline. You don't have the random outbursts and clanking of gates, and you're like, no, what are they doing? And it's quiet. It's quiet
It is. It's very quiet.
So let's make it a little bit louder.
Okay.
Not bird. It's the bird herd. The bird army. Chick team.
How many names can we come up with for you guys?
17. I've counted them. You guys want some wormies to get your hunting started? So when I was cutting that tree yesterday, I had to kind of climb down in there in the woods a little bit. Just being on that edge of the woods where we haven't cleared it completely and we can't mow over there. I think today, between last night and today, I found 3 of those teeny tiny ticks. Not seed ticks, but I think they're just like baby ticks. So these guys are absolutely, in the area that they're spending time, they're making a difference. We've had so few ticks since they've been here. And it's really hard to quantify that completely, but the only time I picked them up is when I go off, climb through the woods to cut down trees and stuff. And of course, down trees is a perfect place for ticks to hang out. But I think their effectiveness has been very, very positive. They're still kind of learning, their adult birdhood. The big Turks are definitely further along than everybody else, but so far so good, other than the fact that they don't mind getting in the way of your truck when you're trying to go down the driveway, or the tractor when you're trying to work, or the mower, or the four-wheeler. But it's fun. It's been a lot of fun, and they're getting a little better at me taking off a little bit faster and getting out of the way before they get hit.
Come on, spread the wings and run.
Remember how I told you they were like falling with style when they first started doing that?
Yeah.
They're actually getting a lot better now at really controlling it and knowing right where they want to go. Because I try to catch them sometimes, a little wide receiver action. They can turn at the last second.
I never know where to stand to watch them. They just fly wherever they want to. They're doing great.
Shannon likes to hide behind trees and duck underneath the four-wheeler and yeah. All right, guys, again, thank you so much for all the encouragement and support through this whole decision process. We just kind of wanted to report to you that we are finding the positivity in it, and there's so much more positivity than there was before. And Mario will never be forgotten. Great goat, just not what the farm needed anymore here. So we're going to move forward, keep getting things done, hopefully get back on track with some stuff and make some progress.
Yes.
Whoa! Hey, keep your beak to yourself, big guy. We love and appreciate each and every one of you, and we thank you so much for coming on this journey with us. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Did you even notice I carried all those pallets out of there and brush cut all of this and cleaned it up nicely so we can see again?
It looks great.
If you're new here, this used to be where a barn sat. Go back and watch the video of us taking that down. If you've been around a long time, this is where the barn was. It's incredible. I'm gonna try to use this space again.